Are we? So guys, let's go to the part 2 of this video. All right, the same place. So the second trend line, I'm going to remove this first one, of course, and I think I should just delete everything. All right, let me delete everything right now. Let me let them go, so I will start afresh. So you can compare the videos by watching them. Studying, like I told you, study this video to understand it properly. Now, you see the first trend line that I drew was here and this point. Well, what I normally say is that they are too close, and for me, I find them very, very unrealistic. Yeah, I find them very, very unrealistic. Okay, so for that reason, but I say if you can, actually, because most of the time you can't be looking for what you will not easily find. But when you have mastered it, you know how to do it. It's fine as well. So, but for me, I would prefer to use this point and this point. And the reason why is because I always feel that these 2 points should function as support and resistance zone, the zone, support and resistance zone, while here we help to determine the size of this support and resistance. All right, why I take here as my area for the trend line, those 2 points that I mentioned, and I want to tick on them now as a trend line. Okay, so I pick this point and I want to pick this point. Of course, I'm going to delete all those things that I have too. All right. You can put it, if you like, you can do body to body, week to week, body to week. Anyhow, those are what you can do. I told you that as far as you get an area that market, I mean, a fine trend line zone, it is just little difference. There is no big difference. So let's find out whether we get this thing correctly. Whether we get them correctly. I mean, because the point is that you have to find out whether your lines are lined very well. Okay, for this one, we can see it's touching. This one is actually touching. It touched. All right, it touched. I'll come. See the way it touched. So you guys can wait. Let me see. Be sure that this one touched. If it doesn't touch, we adjust it. Don't put a line. Examine the line and be sure that it gave you what you're looking for. So let's take this. It touched too, but not be concretely properly like that. Okay, I think it's better this way now. This one is touching the candle body, is not exactly on the wick. Why this one is touching the wick? All right. Now, there is another thing you can decide to do, and that thing is this. Me, most of the time, and so this are close, I try to capture here and here, meaning that I'll make sure that it touches this one. All right, I want to make sure that it touches this one. We are doing a trend line, it should be intentional. It's not guesswork, and it's not just do anyhow so far a trend line. Okay, be intentional about it. All right. So that's what I want to do. So I want to adjust it to touch. Remember, with what we are doing now, means that it's only this, the last place that happened, we came to the market and we just saw this. We just saw this. So this one wasn't there. All right, this one wasn't there. Okay, it wasn't there. Yes. Also, it also means that the person that drew the first trend line saw only this side and used it. I think this one they actually touched. I think that's this point is actually not too bad. I think that they could actually touch. Abi, capturing the 3 points. Okay, let's just say it's as an extension of the other trend line. Immediately when this place happened, remember we said the way you learn is by fishing. When you fish, you come to master how this thing really works. So with this now, it's more like extension of the first trend line, meaning that we came and this place has formed. All right, and we're taking it. So it's not much different from it's not going to be much different from what we did before. In fact, this is not supposed to be the second trend line I want to draw. All right, so in this case, I am not going to talk much on this. All you need to do is to still get the same thing we did. You go with your what? With your support and resistance then. So like here, I can decide to take this as my area of okay, sorry, let's bring it. I forgot that we so this can still take like this. So this becomes a zone. From this point to this point becomes a zone you could mark. Then I could take just the normal. I just want to demonstrate the fishing, that the fishing doesn't stop. So the next point is here. So I take it because after I connect from here to here, and I saw this point, they can function as zone of resistance as well. So I put it. We are fishing. We don't know what's going to happen, but want to pay attention when we have something. All right. Then the next point is here. Okay, no, you can even see that the next point is actually here there because this place form. Look at this point now here. So when we pick out that, what do we have? You see what we're having already by picking out. Remember, look at the point we picked. We picked out this pause, this pause here, this pause here. We picked it out. All right, and at the end, it coincides with here. It's coinciding with here and also here. And you can see here is another zone of this thing, confluence. The same thing with here. All right, the same thing with here. Still another zone of confluence. You see, we're already taking decision. Okay, sorry. Here, this is the top place. So it's only here we're considering because this place has played out before we draw our trend line. So it's here now that we are actually looking at. All right, within after it burst out here, it's going to deal with this one successfully without whatever. You see that, and then the market began to. So it's just an extension of the other one. So we're not going to keep doing much about this. So I'll just quickly go ahead to talk about other two trend lines we are going to be considering. Let's talk about the second one. All right, guys, you just need to learn and practice. Okay, so let's come to this. So guys, please, I want to delete this. I can move forward. All right, guys. So look at this point. Look at this point here. Look at this point. This point, when you came to the market, and see, there is a very big reason why I take this place to be point of support and resistance instead of a whatever. Or you can see for what we have done, it's about fishing. You can do it if you see opportunity, you use it. So it's more of learning how to figure out opportunity and do what and use them. So, but here is another very important fine opportunity here. Can you observe here? This point is another trend line here. So let me show you another zone that trend line can be used. Let me show you. Remember, it's about fishing. Let's assume we are connecting this one or two close. Let's assume we are collecting these 2 points. All right. You see what I've played out. So even if you are collecting this first point and this point, or you left it until this point appeared and you connect, it's still the same thing. All of them played out very nicely. Now, there's something I want to point out. If we do the same thing that we were talking about, I mean, fishing, after this trend line was created, remember here, we take here as support and resistance. Now, after the trend line was, let's say we use this first point and this point to create the trend line and extend it. After that has happened, After that has happened, you begin to see that after this point has happened, that you create this trend line, you come to this place, you are looking at here. Look at this point. That is point of, remember, still fishing. I told you that a lot of this, some of this thing I won't be doing it if I'm analyzing market, but you have to learn, because it's for you being able to fish and find out how this thing happen, how they normally happen. It will help you a whole lot. All right. So after you draw here, you see that you can combine here and here as a point of support and resistance. All right, but it's not useful right now. It's not useful because it's at the point you use for the trend line. So, but you are just fishing. All right. Then we'll come to this place, because this place formed after after we have drawn our trend line. We saw opportunity here. Assuming we use here, you see, what are you going to notice? You notice an area of confluence here. Did you see it? And we're not counting this. Why? I'm not counting this because it is here and here that we used to draw the trend line. So the opportunity will not exist. So here is not an area of confluence for us. All right, because that's what we used. This now we came to the market and we drew that. But here now, after we drew that and use this as an area, all right, and even here, look at this point as well. You are going to see, you see, we are fishing. You see another area of confluence. This is this one. We draw this first. Remember that for this case, except if we use here, if not, we waited until this place has happened before we're drawing this. Meanwhile, in any way, in any case, remember we draw the trend line after this happened, meaning that this has happened, meaning that this, after we draw the trend line, before we draw the trend line, this has already happened. This has happened. This has happened. So it's still, so our fishing now. You see what our fishing caught? It caught this point. All right. And after that, market kept going down and down. All right. So where other place can we mark? Look at this point. Look at this point. Let's take it. Let's take this point, area of pause, taking it as our distance. You see, doing this, we cut here again. Do you see here, area of confluence here? Did you see it? We're cutting here now. We've cut here now. Did you see that? All right, guys. So what area? Of course, we won't be using it. Do just be double this thing, because that. But let's just do it, because you can fish as you want so that you can get whatever. So you see, within this zone, it's a very strong zone because we're having this line. I mean this, and then the trend line in the middle. You see that we just fired on. All right. So let's now take here. That's the next place of pulse or reversal. So you see this point of reversal. All right. All right. So this will just be after areas of confluence. We are having a breakout retest. All right. That's exactly what we're having now. Now it happened like that. Happened like that. Let's just mark all the fishing zone. Look at this. Let's take these two together. We would have marked this first. This point first after it happened, because we are following the market and we are seeing what is going on. All right, we would have marked that point after it happened, and this area of look at this area of pause. Let's assume that we mark it. Remember, we are fishing, so our chart can be dirty. Area of pause. You still pick it out and mark it. All right, and then we have these zones. Let's say 1, 2. Okay, let's just assuming we are marking. Remember, you adjust sometimes as you are marking, as new place plays out to this place plays out. So we marked here. All right, this one happened. Look at these two places. Remember fishing. Just imagine. Okay, let me put it there. Let me not adjust. I want to remove some and put some. For these two, I take it from this low. All right. All right. So we kept doing that, kept doing that, just marking. Remember the fishing. We'll come back and see if there is tangible interpretation. Look at this point, this zone. Of course, this place would have been after when you are having a retest of this trend line and the confluences area. This zone would have been your best place to put your final TP. All right, you see, if you put it there or even here, you would have been fine, meaning the market came and still hit it from that line up to this place. Guys, this is how you fish. This is how you fish. So after you put it because of this point, you see market still came and hit it here. But look at this place. After a breakout of the trend line and a retest, you see it retested the zone. Look at this zone, this trend, this support, this support, the trend line. Look at this. So this is a place you would have also watched out for. You see, this strongest area of retest would also mean that you have taken the trade. All right, you take the trade. Of course, you'll be hoping to take your profit at this level and at this level. And these two levels are major area of confluence. And what happened? Market still hit that level. Market hit this level. This level, you can see it hit it at this point. Market still hit this level. Where? Here. All right. You see, you would have been winning trades. Guys, you get that? All right. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to see whether I can compress the second the second trend line here. All right. So let me delete all this. So guys, you can rewind the video, come back and back again, and actually view all this. So let me delete this. Let me go to the final place trend line I want to use as to illustrate. Remember, it is one of you who came up with this. All right. One of you who came up with this. And the final area I want to use for trend line is this point and this point. All right. These are the final area I want to use for didn't happen now. I'm zooming out to come. Okay. That's the final area I want to use for trend line. So what do? We just connect those 2 points. We just connect what? Those 2 points. That's what we just do. Connecting those 2 points. Okay. Let's connect those 2 points. All right. Remember these 2 points. Connecting those 2 points. This is what we have. Connecting those 2 points. Connecting those 2 points. This is what we have. This is exactly what we have. Connecting those 2 points. I was trying to, if I do it this way, it will slant. Okay, I think it will slant more here. You can still do that. It will slant more here. All right. So we are good. So connecting those 2 points, look at, after we connect these points, remember after this high came this way and did it, that's when we connected it. Extending it, this is what happened later on. This point and all this, they happen later on. All right. So which means after that, we go to our fishing. We want to look at an area of resistance here, this area of resistance. So we're waiting for what will happen if market, all right, area of resistance. So we are fishing, right? We are fishing, right? So let's look at this area of resistance, right? At this place. In fact, this is even the first place we're supposed to draw. These 3 places, area of support. So, but we take from the lowest, the high that is not the highest high, highest low here. So we pick our this thing. I think this is one of the places we're supposed to even draw first, because it happened much earlier. So we're taking here, we'll make sure it hits here. So thereby Getting so this place becomes part of the size of the zone. All right. But guys, from this now you can already see what happened here. Can you see this area of intersection? The same thing with here. So all these are, and after that happened, the market kept what? Flying downward. Did you see that? Okay, let's now go to these two, this point and this point. Let's mark it out. Okay, as support. Okay, maybe let's do it starting from the shortest one, which is here. This is what we have. And did you see a retest, a breakout and retest? Did you see that? So that is exactly, guys, what we need to pay attention to. Now, you can see the reason why the market is actually turning back where it's turning back now from what we want to do. Now, did you see? From here, we are getting this, which is more like a breakout and retest of this zone. And this is what is currently as well happening around here. So, guys, this is exactly how to also keep doing what? Keep fishing. All right. So you guys, what I want to say about one more thing I want to say in this video is this, guys. You see, for there is breakout and retest, there is bounce and reversal. All right. Breakout strategy, breakout and retest, bounce and reversal. All right. Trading strategies. So you don't focus on breakout, you don't focus on you don't focus on bounce and reversal. All right. You focus on what the trend line is giving you. All right. For instance, if this market actually broke out, had it been the thing broke out around the, let me take a part two. Do we have a part two? Where are you, part two? Had it been the market, if this market broke out here and came to retest this confluence and gives you, and gives you an entry trigger, a reversal pattern, this market could have kept going up like this. Those are the things you looked out for. You want to see what happened if there is a breakout. Is it retesting a zone where you have a confluence or not? If you are using confluence to trade. But remember, even support and resistance has breakout and retest trading strategy. It's not that with confluence it helps, because like you see, like you have seen, if there is a confluence, if it hits the middle of the confluence itself, there are likeliness that everything you want to do become consistent. If you want to be going up, you keep going up consistently from that point. So it's like you have assurance that that will begin to happen. Anytime there's a retest, it's going to move in the opposite direction. It retests and continue moving in the opposite direction. So those are the things you work out. So do not ignore the trading strategies, breakout trading strategies, bounce and reversals, and the rest. So don't ignore that. Don't look for just one-sided. So you follow what the market is doing, but what you are learning now is how to get it correctly. You have to know that you are getting it correctly. That's why some of you go ahead to, you are trading, going to 1 minute and all that. Just because you just want to fast forward. I expect you to focus on capturing what is happening here. To focus on what is happening here. And at the end, we will go to where we drill down to go and take trades, to show you how you take trades. I'm not saying you should not be peeping into the future, but don't focus on that as if it's just what you are learning. All right, rather focus on how you would have taken trade in the current time frame and win the trade in current time frame. This is not sniper entry we are teaching. We are teaching a concept, not sniper entry. We get to the point where we begin to talk about the sniper entry. All what we are doing now, we get to the point where we are going to combine everything together. Begin to see how you can, if anyone comes out, how you can actually work with it. All right. So that is the point. We'll get to the point where because at the end of the day, this type of confluence will not be what you need. That's why each time there is a opportunity, you take it, but you master the kind of opportunities the possible opportunities that can come out. But anyone that play out, you take it. So this is not the only thing. It's just one confluence you'll be looking at. Sometimes you will not see this kind of confluence at all. That does not mean you will not take a trade. But what about if it appears? That means that you have what you need to take a trade using this kind of confluence. If it's not, there will be another type of confluence that you will need to take your trade as well. So guys, this is the point. I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.